Hello, you all. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sheba, and I'm on here to share a project that I created for hashtag Satmore Makes, hosted by Jillian Norwood, and also hashtag Two Crafters One Design, that is hosted by Melissa, who is Mo Creations, Lisa, who is You See Why I'm a Diva, and Gloria, who is Girliest Cars. Also here on YouTube. I'll have all the links in the description box down below in case you don't know who they are. You can go over and check out their video and let them know that I sent you. But hashtag Satmore Makes, hosted by Jill, she came out with this collab 5 years ago, just to give yourself a little bit of time in the morning, Saturday morning, or just whenever you can, and create something and share it here on YouTube or any social media platform that is art related. And then Two Crafters One Design, they have a theme each week, and so you just kind of go by their theme, and this week's theme is envelope. So of course I wanted to create something for that collab, but it's all under Satmore Makes, okay? So before I get started, I hope that you're all having a wonderful start to your weekend. So let me go ahead and share with you all what I used, and then I'll share with you all what I created. So I did use, as you can see, some Distress Archival ink in Black Soot. I also used some Distress ink in Kiss Flamingo, also in Vintage Photo. I used some Distress Spray Stain and Tea Dye. And as you can see, I've been having a lot of fun playing with Tim Holtz products, you guys. So, yeah, this is what it is right now. I've been having a lot of fun just getting my hands dirty and just playing with all the different mediums that he has out there. So much fun. I don't know why I've been sleeping on this, but I have, and I finally have woken up, and I'm just loving this all, loving it all. I use a stencil, which is it came with a Tim Holtz stamp. I think it's like a bunny stamp or something like that, but I got it. It came with that, and I use a little bit of I didn't use a little bit. I use the circles here on the bottom of the stencil, and I think this stencil is THM M164. I can hardly see that, but I use that. And then from Stampers Anonymous, I use the embroidery stamp, which is really pretty. Love this. And then I also used from Ledger Script, which I shared this. I used this on I think last week's product. I use this right here. Love those scripts. And this is called Ledger Script. So that's what I used. And then I used, for my envelope, because you know it can be any type of theme, long as it's envelope related. So I used the Vault Pillow Box, but I actually used this die, which is like a little coin envelope. So that's what I used for my project this week. So let me go ahead and share with you all what I created, and I did create 3 of them. So these are the little coin envelopes that I created using that die. And I love the way they turned out, and as you guys already know, mixed media does not have to be perfect. It's just the joy of just using all the different mediums and just, you know, bringing something to life in your projects. So yeah, so this is what I created. So what I used, and I also used some white gesso if I didn't mention that. So I used some cardstock that my husband had brought from his job that they were going to throw away. Really nice cardstock, all white, and I don't know what pound it is, but it's a little bit heavier than 65-pound cardstock. So I used that to cut out my die, and then once I cut it out, I used the white gesso, and I just painted the gesso on the front and back of each one of the dies before I put it together. And then I sprayed it with the Distress Spray Stain and Tea Dye. Okay, and I did a little water dripping on it as well. And when I used the gesso and it dried and put the spray on top, it kind of gave a little bit of blotches here in certain areas, which does not bother me because it kind of goes with the vintage theme of this, I suppose. So I did that, and then I took the stamp, the embroidery stamp, and I stamped it with the Archival Distress Black Soot ink. And then I took my watercolor Distress crayons and I just colored them in each flower. You know, like I said, it's not perfect coloring, but I just did the best I could. And I colored them in. And then once I colored them in, then I took the Ledger Script and I stamped the background of each one where I want the stamp, you know, where I wanted it to land. And then on this one, not this one, it's this one right here. I took that stencil. You can barely see it in the background. It's the Kiss Flamingo little dots there in the back, and I did it up here in the corner as well. And that's the only one I'll use a stencil for. And then I used my Distress Vintage Photo ink, and I went around the edges of them to give it some a distressed look. And then this is what the back looks like. I also sprayed the back. But these are going to go in a journal that I'm going to be making pretty soon, and I'll share with you all when I get that journal completed. But yes, so yeah, those are my little coin envelopes that I created for hashtag 2crafters1design. Like I said, also under hashtag SatMoreMakes. So yeah, I love the way these turned out. And, you know, they're deep enough to put, you know, a little card or a little tag inside of them, or whatever I want to use them for in my journal. So yeah, so I hope that you all enjoyed this week's make for hashtag 2crafters1design, along with hashtag SatMoreMakes. So I do want to thank you all so much for watching. You all have yourself a great weekend, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.